Welcome back to On the Beaten Path. This time we are at the Fringe Festival in Toronto, Canada. I got my trusty free Toronto Fringe Theatre Festival program book, and we're going to catch our last show, Headscarf and the Angry Bitch. Let's hear what it has to say about her. This beef ain't halal. Join Zed, Muslim, Weird Al Headscarf on a romp through Islam in America, exploring religion, family, sex, and love, all in one hilarious hour of story and song. Hyphenated citizens from any culture will relate to the search for identity. This is Headscarf and the Angry Bitch on the Beaten Path here in Toronto, Canada at the 2011 Fringe Festival.
I didn't realize you all were here. Hi, my name is Zehra Fazal, and I am here at the local Islamic Community Center of Riverton, New Jersey, as part of an outreach program to help educate the community about Islam.
Hi, my name is Zehra Fazal, and I am the playwright/performer of the solo show Headscarf and the Angry Bitch here at the Toronto Fringe Festival. So aside from being a theater performer, I've been an actor for about 8 years professionally. I'm also a visual artist, and so sometimes what I like to do backstage is have a sketchbook. And I found myself about 3 years ago, I was doodling in a sketchbook while waiting backstage. I was in another show. And I found myself doodling this image of a woman in a headscarf, wearing a headscarf and not much else. And I thought that was really interesting, the juxtaposition of the conservative, the traditional, with the very kind of edgy, modern, sexual human. So that image kind of morphed in my sketches to become a punk rocker. The woman in the headscarf kind of got punk rock makeup and she got really grungy. And then that image sort of morphed into a friendlier kind of folk singer, kind of like Phoebe from Friends. And so along the lines of this image that I was creating, I started to think, okay, if this person was real, if this person were real, what kinds of songs might they sing? And so the lyrics for some of the songs in the show kind of came out of that idea of that drawn character.
Lost my virginity I guess I make poor decisions on
So the process of writing the show was sort of the song parodies came first. Each song in the show is a parody of a specific song or a genre of songwriting.
Stuck at the airport, man, I should have taken the train. Listen, officer, I'm not gonna bomb your plane. Allah, 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 Allah.
Each song kind of came to me, and then what I realized was I wanted to build a show based out of these songs. So the storyline kind of worked its way in to connect all the songs, and new songs were added closer to the premiere.
Sing along, kids, if you know it. Muslim girls don't put out, don't put out, don't put out. Muslim girls don't put out, it's haram.
After the show premiered at the 2009 Capitol Fringe Festival, it went on to be workshopped with a theater company in DC called Theater J, which is a Jewish theater company. And they have an amazing festival called Voices from a Changing Middle East that I was invited to participate in. And I workshopped the show with the artistic director, Ari Roth of Theater J, who provided some amazing insight on editing, rewriting, fleshing out, adding a new song. And so after the piece was workshopped with Theater J and performed there as part of their Middle East Festival, it went on to the New York International Fringe Festival in 2010. And since then, I've just been touring it around the country at different fringe festivals, small theaters, and colleges and universities.
Hey, would it be weird weird if I said you were kind of cute? Just how related are we anyway? You know what? Our grandparents were first cousins. I think it's okay. Oh, my profile picture. Hey, wait, are you gay?
It's interesting, the various reactions to this piece. I'm very thankful that they've been overwhelmingly positive for the most part, and people have approached the show with an element of, for people who are also Muslims or also South Asian, there's a shared familiarity. I've had young women come up to me after the show who say, oh, that story you told, that happened to me exactly, or I know exactly what you're talking about. And then with non-South Asians or non-Muslims, there's been a lot of, again, that, oh, that happened to me. Anyone who's a hyphenated anything can kind of relate. Anyone who's a child of an immigrant can relate to the stories that Zed Headscarf, the character in the show, tells.
I would love it if he were gay. I mean, maybe this is totally politically incorrect or whatever, but if he were gay, then maybe also then he could be artistically inclined. And we could, I don't know, like team up and tour as a duo, taking the Muslim folk rock world by storm with our jihad on music.
And another thing too, like audience who are not necessarily children of immigrants kind of feel like the show teaches them something about Islam that they didn't know otherwise, or that they were, too scared, or they would not have tried to seek out to know on their own. So it's been an educational experience too, which is an interesting side effect, because I didn't necessarily intend for the show to be educational per se, more like entertaining and tongue-in-cheek, but it's amazing that it has that benefit as well. Makes you laugh and then it punches you in the gut with something to think about.
No flights to the Quran, Mohammed and Shaitan, terrorists, airport checks, no premarital sex. Don't call me a liar. I believe in Allah, but I ain't Allah. Don't throw me in hellfire. You say that I'm haram, well hey, so's your mom.
Recently, on a Muslima Media Watch website, it's a female Muslim website, there were some differing opinions about the content of the show. And this is a website that specifically looks at images of Muslim women in the media. And I think one of the criticisms that I've heard from Muslim women who see the show, who perhaps wear the hijab, is that they don't like that the hijab is being used as a costume piece on stage. I, in my practice as a spiritual Muslim, have never worn the hijab. It's never been a cultural part of my family. But I felt that wearing the hijab for me to do this show was not meant to disrespect it, but to inhabit the stereotype of the Muslim woman and therefore shatter it. In order to shatter a stereotype, you have to inhabit it first.
Maybe that's not such a bad thing. No, you know what? Why do I have to represent Islam in America anyway, huh? I mean, why do I have to represent Pakistan, a country I've been to twice in my life that can't get its act together?
There's no one true Islam. Everyone has a different way to approach this religion, just like any other faith. And one of the goals of my show is to say, hey, that's okay. Whatever Islam is to you, you can be a Muslim. You can call yourself a Muslim and also be something that may contradict traditional Islam. You can be Muslim, you can be bisexual, you can drink beer, you can eat non-halal things, and it's all okay. You can still call yourself a Muslim.
But with you in my bed, I know I got nothing to fear. We'll do it again and again and again and again and now and again and again and again. Oh, the only thing I'll do 5 times a day is you. Oh, my darling, when you're around me, my pants fly off faster than a David Duchovny's. A little afternoon, I know it's time for Zohar. Roll out my prayer mat and I start to snore.
If if you'd like to follow the adventures of Zed Headscarf further, please become a friend of Zed Headscarf on Facebook, and also you can follow us on Twitter, Zed Headscarf on Twitter. And my personal website for both this show and my other theatrical projects is www.zehrafazal.com. I'm Zehra Fazal, and I'm on the beaten path.